see nothing. I'll show you something. Oh, wow, wow, wow. You don't want to miss this. It's the new sound. It's the new sound. New hype, new vibe, new wave, good times. It's the new sound. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Please welcome Jeff Clarke.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? How about the British rock band? They did a great job this morning, eh? Welcome to day 2 of Dell Technologies World, the day we make things real. You're going to hear from our team today, our customers, our partners, on how we're making AI real with an emphasis on AI in the enterprise. We're going to update you on what we've learned, what others are doing, what's changed since we were last together last May, and we're going to discuss AI and where it's going and what our plans are. Gen AI, I'm going to state the obvious here, has only accelerated since we were last together. There have been many advancements, breakthroughs, and new use cases to find. I think I said this last year, I'm likely to say it next year. I've never seen anything like this. It's unprecedented. Maybe to put this in perspective, in US dollars, or today's dollars I should say, the United States spent $274 billion on the Apollo program to put Neil Armstrong on the moon. AI CapEx is expected to reach $400 billion this year alone. $274 billion to put a man on the moon, nearly $400 billion invested in AI CapEx this year. It's amazing. And just think, we're only at the beginning of this cycle. Reasoning's to come, agentic is to come, physical AI is to come, and it's only going to get greater. I call this UFB. For those of you that I just confused, the B's believable, the U is un, and you can figure out the middle letter. It's unbelievable. We introduced the Dell AI Factory to all of you a year ago. We created the factory to help businesses, large to small, get started with Gen AI and to scale it. Whether you're pursuing a basic coding assistant or a large training clusters, our AI factories are at the center of this new computing architecture that the new modern AI workloads are driving. We take our open, modular infrastructure with a rich, vibrant ecosystem that you'll hear more about today to deliver powerful GPUs, a scalable disaggregated storage solution, high throughput, low latency AI fabric, curated application, optimized tooling, all integrated with the latest cutting edge models supported by our deployment services. And what you get is the Dell AI Factory, an unmatched set of capabilities in our industry. And it's resonating very well with customers. We've helped over 3,000 businesses of all sizes build their factories. And we launched over 200 new features to the AI Factory since its inception. It's the world's largest and broadest portfolio. If I think about what we've been able to develop and deliver over the past year, from PCs to the data center to the largest clusters, note the build out on the edge of the network and what's happening at the edge. At scale implementation with optimized storage, optimized networking, the services around that, put together a set of capabilities that, again, is unmatched in our industry. And we've only continued to build on. And you're going to hear more exciting news from Arthur and Sam today about how we are going to expand the utility and capability of our Dell AI factories. But before we start and get into those details, much has changed since last May. And you know I love a good top 10 list, so I'm going to start our morning off with a top 10. And the first is change, 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 roadmap, acceleration, 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 B200, GB200, B300, GB300, the GB10, the RTX family of products, the MI350 family of products, and it only goes and goes and goes, faster and faster being pulled in. Number two, really capable multimodal models and large context LLMs have vastly improved outcomes. And 3, the techniques are advancing at near exponential rates. Quantization, distillation are enabling more capable, smaller models and enabling faster training of new models. Number 4, one of my personal favorites, inferencing and reasoning models are far more compute intensive than we thought a year ago. At least 100 times more compute intensive than we thought just a year ago, and likely going to grow from that. And if you haven't heard, it's tokens, 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 my shirt. It's tokens, tokens, tokens. This is in many ways, we're building token factories. In 2024, 25 trillion tokens were generated. By 2028, that number will be 35,000 trillion tokens. That's 3 orders of magnitude increase over 3 years, and it's likely undercalled. It's likely undercalled. Very capable NPUs will be in our PCs. It's going to be disruptive. It's going to enable RAG at the very edge of the network, very edge of our distribution of AI capabilities, and it's going to make the PC increasingly a higher performance, a more secure option for AI going forward. Equally important, despite an increase, and a 10x increase in the cost to train the next new generational model, there are more foundational models today than there were a year ago. Maybe counter to that increase in cost, the cost per token has actually decreased 4 orders of magnitude in the last 4 years. So each successive training of a new model is 10x, and the rate of token cost is declining 4 orders of magnitude over the past 4 years. And if you hadn't heard, I was at GTC yesterday. Agentic, agentic, agentic is the answer to everything. More to come on that later. But what we're seeing by 2028, 1/3 of all interactions with Gen AI will use autonomous agents to complete tasks. And like you heard from JP Morgan Chase, Lowe's, and others yesterday, the largest companies in the world have moved beyond proof of concept. They are into production and delivering real return on their investments in AI inside their enterprises. And to build on that last point, we've recently polled over 3,800 decision makers to ask them about the trends shaping their AI adoption. And we found some pretty interesting insights that I want to share with you today. The survey showed, first and foremost, the top technical challenges. There are 2. One is the vast implementation, and the second is scaling the data and getting AI deployed in the enterprise. Number 2 may surprise you. 39% of all data center power isn't utilized. Number 3, 77% of those companies want their infrastructure vendor to actually build the entire AI stack for them. And then lastly, which I think is very profound given our build out at the edge, 35% of companies plan to test small language models on their AIPCs within the next year. And my conversations with customers aren't very different. They reinforce what I just said and usually come with a host of questions. Where do I start? Is my AI data, or is my data AIable? How do I choose a use case? Is there a return really there? Can I afford to do this? Do I have the space? Do I have the power? Do I have the cooling? Sound familiar? Maybe? It wasn't really what we think is out there. The survey suggests differently, but nonetheless, I thought I might tell you a story about Dell and what we went through over the past 2+ years on our AI journey. And I often tell customers this story. So in the spirit of misery loves company, I thought I'd share the detailed experience we've had in this journey over the past 2.5 years at how we've taken Gen AI and scaled it inside the Dell enterprise. And I'll tell you, we were pretty horrified when we started. In fact, we were shocked. Unbeknownst to us leaders, the clueless bunch, we had over 900 projects inside the company branded as AI projects. We were all over the place. Data governance wasn't as tight as we wanted it to be or should have been. We were confused and often interchanged bots and automation with Gen AI, confusing ourselves. We were doing that. We lacked a strategy. architecture, and plan. In other words, we had a bunch of well-intended people working on the latest and coolest technology, and if they called it that, they got funding, imagine that. And we had little control over this environment. So we quickly started putting some basic structure in place. AI governance, some rules. AI data governance, what are we going to do with the data? What data stays on-prem? What data are we comfortable moving off-prem? A chief AI officer, a quarterback of our strategy to determine what we're going to do in the path forward. And we ultimately took what we develop, or what we do in our development organizations is our agile methodology, and we took this mindset that we were going to do our AI work in 90-day sprints so we can learn fast, fail fast, and adapt or adopt and change as needed. And what we quickly found from that, and you'll all know this, and we've talked about it many times, and Michael mentioned it yesterday, Gen AI is all about the data. And we quickly found, I suspect like many of you, we had to clean the data, we had to unify it, we had to connect it, because it was all over the place, and we had to really do this for the specific use cases we had defined, which were 5. You might ask, how did we do this? The first part wasn't particularly hard. We just had to be disciplined in doing this, as we had to define an AI data architecture. Then we built an enterprise-wide data mesh, which connected all of the relevant data sets for those 5 use cases that we had defined on our AI journey from the structure that we had put in place. We next rolled out a strategy, an architecture, and an operating framework, which, by the way, became the early foundation of the Dell AI factory work that we rolled out last year. And that was a byproduct of the same types of infrastructure we were providing for the largest clusters in the world. And voila, you had the building of our Dell AI factory strategy, and you had structure and discipline and rigor put in place inside our enterprise to deliver AI solutions for our company. From that, we established a set of criteria that were really important to us to determine what we're going to do. Fundamentally, and this one is, it's counterintuitive to many of the discussions I've had with customers of what we did and what we found to be very successful. Processes had to be simplified, standardized, and automated first. It became very clear to us that if you apply AI to a shitty process, you just get a shitty answer faster. And a not particularly good one. So you have to put the discipline in, standardize, simplify, and automate, which lays the foundation for the AI resources that we deployed in our company. Secondly, you had to have an AI data plan. You had to come with a plan of how you're going to clean your data, prepare your data, how it was going to be ingested into our models and into our training, and then ultimately, it wasn't just be done with that, a plan to sustain it, because we wanted these models and these capabilities to continue to run. What may seem obvious, but unbelievably disciplined, or a discipline that we had to put in place, if it wasn't allied to our 5 strategic use cases, which are aligned to the 4 things that matter most in our company: our end-to-end product strategy, our go-to-market engine, our worldwide supply chain and global services capability. If it wasn't aligned to that, we didn't do it. And then lastly, the discipline that we put in place, it had to have a meaningful and committed ROI. Unless you were willing to sign up for real dollars, real efficiency and productivity, we were not going to fund it. And I would argue what I just described, that's not magic, it's pretty reasonable discipline that everyone in this room is capable or probably already has done inside their organizations. That's how we've experienced and how we see as the best practice of deploying AI in the enterprise. Maybe an example that will help illustrate the disruptive results of generative AI. So I'm going to take one of those use cases, the discipline that I just described to you, and walk you through something we did inside our company. We have a very, very large global services organization. It's tens of thousands of team members in over 170 countries, serving customers of all types, from consumers to the largest multinational companies in the world. We directly service and support more than 250 million assets in the field. As a result of that, we have a large amount of data, a lot of data that was in many data islands, as I described them, that this data mesh pulled together. And all of these islands have rich, proprietary, incredibly valuable information to us. You might ask what they are. I'll give you the 5 data sets that were most important to us. Our case history. Anytime someone calls us, interacts with us, we have a case history. From that, we build a knowledge base. So there's another data island of the knowledge base. Equally important, every one of our products have the capability of calling home and telling our service organization what is happening to them. We have that rich data set. Every time we dispatch a part, we have that data set. And then lastly, we have the repair data on what was actually repaired and what happened with the part when it was returned. All of that data existed in our company. Quite frankly, it was a little all over the place in on-prem tools. We built this data mesh to bring it together. And for us, this is some of our most valuable data in the company. And we had tried to harness the value of those 5 independent sets as one, and ultimately not successful. And it wasn't until the advancements in generative AI that the reality of extracting value from all 5 of those data sets simultaneously came to fruition. I'm sure nothing here is going to be new and unique to you, but for us, it was our first effort at taking what we've been talking about now for the better part of 2 years, a series of AI techniques with open source software, like machine and deep learning, and of course, generative AI. We had a combination of RAG, prompt engineering, very capable large language models, and taking that and building our own model and own ultimate inference from that, we were able to harness our service data. The way we like to talk about it inside our company, because that gets very technical, something that really our customers can understand, every one of our service team members now has a genius on their shoulder telling them the best way to solve any issue they have when they're on the phone or on the web. So we created service assistants for all of our service members in our organization. And while I won't tell you the specific outcomes, as you might imagine, they're kind of our secret sauce, I will tell you about some of the work that came out, and it's quite extraordinary for us. First, our agents close cases, or our agents close more cases, and they do it faster. And they do so with an increased resolution rate. Our dispatch rates are down. Our repeat dispatch data, our repeat dispatch data are down even more, our rates are down more. And then most importantly, the thing that matters most is customer satisfaction's up. So we're able to solve more cases faster with a higher resolution rate. Whether it's the first time or the second time that we're out dispatching a part, those rates are down, and the ultimate outcome is a more happy customer. And this didn't require the latest models, the latest GPUs, nor did it require a significant amount of resources. That use case that I just described that we call a service assistant inside our company is deployed on-premise, where the data resides. It's protected and secured by our data protection product lines. And we actually did what we've talked about in this meeting multiple times, is the data's here and AI comes to the data. So Gen AI moved to the data. Our data is stored on our ECS storage arrays in our standard data center. We took our standard generative AI infrastructure, in this case it was an R740XD with PCIe GPUs. It's all in a single rack, no additional power, no additional cooling was needed, and the ROI was less than 6 months. In fact, it was less than 3 months. So in less than 3 months, we paid for all of the effort required to take something we've never tapped before and produce an incredible outcome, which for us was increased customer satisfaction. And again, I assert what I just described, all of you are capable of doing. There are 6 primary use cases that have emerged to help enterprise capitalize on generative AI. We've talked about them before, but to put them front and center, one, the support assistant that I just talked about, content creation and management, natural language search, design and data creation, code generation, document automation. Every one of you have that needs. Everyone in this room has those sorts of needs across your small, medium to large business. And I would assert it's time to get busy. It's really time to get busy because in my view, and I talked about this last year, this is the most disruptive technology that I've seen in my career. The threat is existential if you don't respond. This is a game changer. That's how we look at it inside our organization, and we assume our competitors are doing this at a faster rate than we are, and that keeps us busy. So I would give you 5 things to think about as a result of that. 1, if you haven't started, you're behind. If you haven't started, you're behind. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. Many of you have the power, cooling, and space in your existing data centers already. You don't need the latest models, you don't need the latest GPUs to get started. There's a compelling ROI out there for the right use cases inside your organizations. And we demonstrated, hopefully successfully here, the paybacks are actually in a handful of months. Speed matters. If I haven't been clear, I want to be perfectly clear here. Your competition is moving fast. We believe that. That's driving our behavior. It's the paranoia how we work inside our organization. And I would assert that if you're not moving, you're behind. And if you're not moving fast enough, you're behind. And then lastly, we continue to demonstrate this in the proof points that the TCO of doing on-prem inferencing remains superior, and it allows you to control your most prized asset, your data. So in summary, if you think about what we've done, is we've taken the very technologies we've talked about in the last 2 DTWs, deployed it inside our enterprise, and got incredible results that are driving efficiency and productivity, no doubt, but also a better experience with our customers. That's the disruptive nature of this. So I'd like to pivot now to big AI. I talked about that earlier. We're involved in some of building out of some of the largest clusters in the world. And what you may not know, and it's not always obvious, we're leveraging the innovation, the engineering, the services, and all the learnings from those large deployments to optimize the Dell AI factory for the enterprise. For example, we take the software stack automation work and the management tools that we've honed for these large clusters, and we've scaled them appropriately to the enterprise. Performance optimization for inferencing. Improving our storage efficiency and performance and power scale and object scale. And then lastly, not that the list is this short, but it's ultimately a game of how do you optimize for power and cooling. So if you just take those 4 categories that I picked, all of those are making their way into the offers that we are driving across those 200 editions in our Dell AI factories to make the Dell AI factory for enterprise real, capable of scaling and meeting the needs of the use cases that I just described. But just don't take my word for this. I'd like you to hear from an expert in the space of big AI. So with that, please welcome co-founder and chief strategy officer of CoreWeave, Brian Vituro. Brian.
Jeff, how are you?
Thanks for joining me today.
Listen, before we get started, we have to talk about something. So I've been in Vegas for 48 hours, and I love Las Vegas. Everyone is here to have fun, and I've got 3 people behind stage. I call them my adults. They've let me have no fun, right? None.
Are we going to have some here?
Can we have some fun? Is that okay?
We'll let the audience determine that, but we're going to try. How's that?
Cool. All right, let's do it.
So with that, as many of you know, CoreWeave has been at the forefront of what's happening in the world of AI. You've been on an exciting run. You just had an IPO. You just did a Bloomberg interview this morning.
Just did an interview.
Told me the stock was up.
Stock didn't go down. That's the only thing I care about.
Why don't you tell us, the team here, about your story, what's been important to you.
I thought we were going to have fun.
Your approach. Yeah, well.
This is like, do you have a therapy couch?
Well, they wouldn't let us bring it.
Oh, man, okay, well, I tried. So we started the company 8 years ago. It was not supposed to be a company. It was a hobby. We were building GPU mining rigs in my, like, as most cliches you can be, my grandfather's construction garage. And my 94-year-old grandfather, he would walk in and he'd be like, Brian, like, just what in the hell are you doing in here? And I'd be like, I have no idea. And people always ask me, like, how did you know when to pivot? How did you know what to do? Like, when was the time you realized? And the honest answer is, we had no idea what was coming, right? We had no idea what we were planning for. We were trying to make the best decisions for what we believed was a valuable asset on a day-to-day basis. And we took the stance that we didn't know what compute was going to be used for, but we felt like the world was changing, that data was coming from everywhere, and it was going to be incredibly valuable in some way. So, early on, our entire goal was, how do we get to scale? How do we have as many GPUs as we can? And we'll figure it out after. And I said to you earlier that there was so much luck along the way. I could point back and probably bring up 30 incredibly lucky moments where, looking back on it, it was kind of a binary outcome, like we were going to make it or not, and we got really lucky. You joked that it was strategy. I'm not really sure. But the business has been built around how do we build the best infrastructure? How do we make it the most flexible? And over time, the business really changed when we took our first customer on. Right? We were a crypto mining company, which was great because you never had to talk to customers. Nobody yelled at you. You just made money or you didn't. And the day that we took on our first customer, we became a business. And in 2022, we had already had some success serving what was early stage inference, what was some VFX use cases, but the text to image models that started arriving in spring of 2022, like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, was the moment for us where we went, wow, like this is going to capture the world's creative mind, right? Everyone's going to look at this and say, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And that was the time that we went all in, right? We said training's going to be here. We don't know how it's going to work, but we want to buy as many NVIDIA Hopper GPUs as we can. We convinced our investors that they should ride along with us, and the rest is kind of history. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a ride.
If you think about that, as many GPUs as you need, which is lots.
A lot of GPUs.
We're building very complex computers here. In fact, we're making them act as a single computer. As you think about the complexity of the deployment at the large training level, how do you pick who you partner with? What do you value? How do you make the decisions of who do you choose?
It comes back to trust. Do I trust the person across the table from me to solve the problems when they happen? And every business problem happens. When you're building a supercomputer with 1 million pieces that can fail, it's going to happen. I go to you all the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do call frequently.
Yeah, I have a hardware team, and every time this one guy reaches out to me, he sends me this whole link, and I'm just like, copy paste, Jeff. This is your problem now, and it seems to work. So it's we're not joking at all. But
he is not.
Dell has been incredible from a speed. A partnership perspective around engineering. Your engineering team is world-class, better than everybody else we've worked with.
Thank you.
You solve problems, you proactively solve problems, and you really work with us when we need it most. So it's been amazing.
Thank you. And then related to that, we talked about this morning, time to first token, get the first node, the first rack, and then many racks. And then day two, it's got to work the second day and beyond, right?
Yeah, so time to first token. I really think about this as time to market, right? And for our customers, it's how fast do they get the infrastructure? How fast do they get it workable? Because some of these things, these are so hard to bring online and get them stable, especially when you're talking hundreds of thousands of GPUs. I think that's why our customers keep coming back to us, is because we keep delivering this high quality infrastructure at scale. But it's getting it stable, getting their researchers on there, and then making sure it works on day two. Right? Making sure their storage systems feed the GPUs appropriately, giving them everything they need to be successful to deliver products faster than everybody else, because this is a race for market share.
First to market with the GB200 NVL72.
First to market for GB200, first to market for H100. I screwed up. We have t-shirts made when we're first to market. We had the Hopper Cowboys t-shirts, and I have Blackwell Bandits t-shirts, and they were on my chair, ready to go, and I walked out of my house without it, and now you're wearing this thing, and mine was way better. So.
Next time.
Next time, for sure.
Maybe to finish up for the team, I talked about earlier Gen AI, reasoning coming, agentic coming very, very quickly, physical AI. We're in the very, very early innings, as I like to describe it. What do you think is the next big opportunity? More importantly, what are the challenges as we think about AI for enterprises going forward?
Man, we get asked this question all the time. And people are like, well, what's going to drive AI? And my thought here is that there's not going to be a killer app, right? There's going to be a subtle impact to everyone's lives to make their decision-making better, to make it easier to do things, to make your kids' schedules easier to manage, to deal with your shopping cart better when you're ordering from Instacart. There's going to be so many ways that AI impacts us. It's not going to be that one application that you go to and you're interacting with, sporadically through the day. So I think it's going to happen very, very quietly, and it's going to be a lot more nuanced than the world expects today. I think that the scale challenge is real, right? Is to serve all these applications and everybody in this room, you need a lot of GPUs. And the market and the world has to understand that we have to invest in the infrastructure and the critical IT to do so, and we're out there every day telling that story.
Well, we love that. More gear is good for us.
It's
Brian,
great for me
thanks for
too.
joining us. Thanks for the partnership.
Yep.
Thanks for making us better.
Thanks for having me.
Coming out.
And let's have some fun in Vegas.
Brian Vituro. So exactly what we're building for Brian and the CoreWeave team is exactly the same infrastructure that we're building for the enterprise. The broadest portfolio, from the edge to the data center to the largest clusters, a comprehensive portfolio inclusive of storage, networking, and our services, one-stop shop for the enterprises, Dell Technologies. Maybe one last topic before Arthur comes up. And I was at GTC yesterday, and the buzz around was agents, agents, agents. I talked about it earlier being the solution for everything in the future. We like to call this agentic technology. John Rose, our CTO, and I often start with making sure everybody's level set. What is an agent? Because we've heard a wide range of definitions of an agent. In our words, an agent is a software system that uses AI to autonomously make decisions and take actions to achieve a set of objectives. And they have the power to reason, perceive the environment, learn and adapt. And agents can be given a goal, and then it independently carries out those complex tasks and solves problems to reach that goal. Agents will quickly become autonomous, working independently with little input. And autonomous agents working together as a team is what we call agentic AI. And this ensemble of autonomous agents will collaborate to accomplish complex tasks across products, services, applications, all guided by you, the manager. You manage the team objectives. You manage their goals. You're ultimately the decision maker. You're ultimately setting up their behavior and determining the outcomes you want, and all with you providing the conscience for those agents. And you take what I just described as agentic technology and that definition of an agent and couple it with what we already know about AI. And this is what we've learned in the last year that we're already seeing across broad spectrums of our customer base. AI makes an individual contributor as good as a team of two people. It dissolves silos based on expertise. It provides a connection and motivation as a sounding board for ideas. And probably fourth, most important, teams working with AI are 3 times more likely to be in the top decile of performance than individuals working with AI or teams working without AI. An army of digital agents with a team run by a team that is informed of how AI works. We're talking about agentic technology again in products, processes, applications, your services, all working autonomously, guided by you. The potential is absolutely limitless. Let's take a look.
A complex problem was easy. For instance, your PC can't connect to a file system, and you don't understand if the problem is in the PC itself or in the data center. Historically, trying to identify where the problem is can be very time-consuming. Imagine if it wasn't. A user is working on a PC with an NFS mount failure and they can't access a drive. But luckily, Dell's AI agents are on the job. The data is analyzed, and it is determined that the PC is not causing the issue. So the orchestrator asks for help from the recommender agent to determine next steps. The recommender says to check the data center. And guess what? It finds not 1, but 2 issues. There is a slowdown due to a QoS error, and there's a drive that is likely to fail soon. The orchestrator sends the communications issue to the remediation agent, who activates QoS and applies a new policy. With auto-approval previously enabled in the system by the IT administrator, the agent applies this new policy, resolving issue 1. To solve issue 2, the orchestrator must now inform its counterpart in services of the faulty drive. The services orchestrator communicates with various agents and analyzes findings, ultimately sending a task to a services work order configurator agent, who generates the work order to package a replacement drive to the customer. Before the parts are shipped, the agent receives confirmation from a human to complete the transaction, resolving issue 2. Completing the automated detection, identification, correction, and resolution of a complex real-world scenario, using autonomous agents at a speed we couldn't previously imagine. You're in control, whether you want fully autonomous operations or just smarter insights at your fingertips. Agentic AI adapts to how you want to work, across every industry from healthcare to retail to manufacturing and more.
So the boundary that has existed in our industry for decades between product, service, and IT management and orchestration, that canvas is going to change. The lines go away. It is one surface, and across that surface, agents are going to work autonomously across our products and our services and your administration and management of the assets to solve problems autonomously. That's the world, and the world is coming at us very, very fast. And if I haven't made the case that you had enough to do already, well, this is only going to drive more compute intensity. These agentic systems are resource intensive. They require world-class AI infrastructure, the Dell AI factory with NVIDIA as an example, to process what will likely be yet another multiple of tokens in the order of 100 times. So reasoning 100 times, tokens 100 times, that's 10,000 times more processing capability than we would have thought a year ago. That's the future. In many ways, we're going to build AI factories become token factories, and taking tokens and breaking them down into logical work to build a digital workforce to take on the challenges of the future. So that's where things are going. We're excited about it. And on the note of world-class infrastructure, please welcome Arthur Lewis, the president of our ISG business. Knock 'em dead. That was awesome.
Good morning, everybody. It's truly an honor to be here with so many of the brightest minds in technology, innovators, builders, bold thinkers who are shaping what's possible every day. And I hope you've seen that at Dell Technologies, we are not simply witnessing the next wave of innovation, we are engineering it. We are not simply building AI tools, we are redefining the future architecture of the intelligent enterprise. Our AI platforms and solutions, our private cloud platforms, and our full stack innovation is designed to turn data into intelligence and complexity into clarity. We are empowering customers to deploy AI where it makes sense, to modernize without compromise, and to innovate at scale with confidence anywhere and everywhere that data resides. Now is the moment to lead, the moment to build, and the moment to shape what's next. And Dell Technologies is uniquely positioned to help customers realize their loftiest of AI ambitions. Now, I want to start today by talking about what is probably the single biggest differentiator in deriving value from artificial intelligence, which is your data strategy. We all know that data is the fuel that feeds artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence requires a lot of premium grade fuel. The algorithmic innovation that we see in the industry, from reasoning models to multimodal models to larger, more powerful large language models, require a different approach to data architectures. To effectively clean, prep, ingest, query, and ultimately secure diverse data sets across the typical enterprise estate, in other words, unlocking the value of AI, is a significant task. And to help customers tackle their data challenges, I'd like to introduce you to the newest family member in the AI factory, the Dell AI Data Platform. This platform is engineered to manage complex workflows at scale, allowing customers to seamlessly place, process, and protect their data. And the foundation of this platform is fast, scalable storage, built for the AI world. Let's delve a little deeper into the components of the Dell AI Data Platform. First, we continue to make significant enhancements in the world-leading scale-out file system PowerScale to deliver highly scalable file and object storage specifically tailored for AI data prep, training, and inferencing workloads. And with NCP-certified configurations, including the 1.2 petabyte F710 and the 3 petabyte F910, which, by the way, have twice the level of capacity as they did just a year ago, PowerScale offers optimal performance, efficiency, and capacity. And we've added significant data services, including the automation of data ingest for your RAG pipelines through our proprietary RAG connector, as well as Metadata IQ, which allows for quick data discovery and advanced search capabilities via our integration with Elasticsearch. Next, ObjectScale continues to redefine object storage for the enterprise in an AI-first world. With the highest level of S3 API capability integrations, including user metadata search, object lock, versioning, S3 extensions, and notifications, ObjectScale seamlessly integrates with modern data lakes, AI tools, and a wide variety of object-based extensions. ObjectScale also delivers industry-leading throughput of 384 gigabytes per second, allowing for very quick data ingest, which ultimately leads to superior performance in your training and inferencing workloads. ObjectScale also scales linearly to exabytes, supporting rack-aware clusters of up to 1,000 nodes, including 5 nines availability, 11 nines of durability, non-disruptive upgrades, efficient multi-site protection, all while consuming less power per terabyte than legacy systems. And for the enterprise, we've added isolated tenant namespace, as well as AES 256-bit level encryption, certified for SEC AF14, ensuring security and compliance. And stay tuned, as later this year we announce S3 RDMA, S3 tables, query offload, optimized Spark engines, and so many more industry first. But of course, we're not stopping here. We're only getting started. Rolling out later this year, Project Lightning. Lightning will be the fastest parallel file system in the world, delivering 67% greater access to data and twice the level throughput of that of our nearest competitor. Lightning is a superhighway for artificial intelligence, eliminating bottlenecks at speed. Designed for unparalleled performance in agentic, training, and inferencing workloads, Lightning is capable of saturating hundreds of thousands of GPUs, ideal for checkpointing, key value caching, as well as high-end metadata analytics at scale. And with a very impressive random read throughput per node of 97 gigabits per second, it ensures seamless and continuous access to your data. Lightning's architecture also enables the independent scaling of data and metadata, offering incredible flexibility while achieving near line rate speeds at 97% bandwidth efficiency. Utilizing RDMA networks as well as GPU direct storage. And then to take further advantage of the advancements we see in artificial intelligence, including these long-thinking reasoning models, we are working with NVIDIA to build a large-scale caching solution for accelerated inference. Integrated with NVIDIA's Nixel library, this turnkey solution will deliver extreme performance in agentic and inferencing workloads. What do I mean by extreme performance? Well, when utilizing these reasoning models, which consume a significant amount of compute, you will see 100 times greater tokens per second generated at an 80% reduced latency. And finally, as I said at the beginning, Managing your data effectively is the backbone of successful artificial intelligence. To take advantage of the latest innovations in AI requires a unified data approach across a diverse set of sources, tools, and formats. We tackle this problem with the Dell Data Lakehouse, which combines the scalability and cost efficiency of a data lake with the structure and reliability of a warehouse. And this powerful combination ensures seamless and continuous access to data. The Lakehouse will also offer a federated query engine, which will allow customers to discover, analyze, and process data across their entire estate in real time, while also allowing for the automation of orchestration for agents. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Dell AI data platform. From fast, scalable storage with PowerScale and ObjectScale, to cutting-edge technologies like Lightning and end-to-end data management with the Dell Data Lakehouse, we are giving customers the tools that they need to derive maximum value from their most valuable asset, their data. Now, I want to change gears a little bit and talk about the fact that our AI factory could not and would not exist without a vibrant and robust ecosystem community. This week, we are announcing joint advancements with key partners, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Meta, Hugging Face, Mistral, Glean, Red Hat, E&Y, Accenture, Deloitte, all aimed at making AI real. I'm so incredibly proud at the robust and vibrant ecosystem of strong and relevant partners that we're building. And in the vein of very strong and relevant partners, I'm incredibly proud to announce our collaboration with Google to bring Gemini models on-prem exclusively for Dell customers. This solution will offer industry-leading security, giving customers the control of the data that they need, while also being able to take advantage of Google's advanced AI capabilities. In addition to Google, I'm incredibly proud to announce our partnership with one of the leading AI innovators, Cohere, to simplify the deployment of agentic technology on-prem. And to help me walk through this technology, I'd like to invite Cohere CEO and co-founder, Aidan Gomez, on stage. Aidan? Good to see you, Aidan.
Yeah, super excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Arthur. Very excited to announce our collaboration. It's been amazing so far. So to introduce Cohere, we make AI secure, scalable, and easy to use at every level of enterprise operations.
Yeah, Aidan, North is absolutely the real deal. Can you tell the audience a little bit about the platform and how it integrates with our AI solutions?
Of course, yeah. So Cohere North is our secure AI agents platform. It enables employees to automate complex workflows with seamless data integration, comprehensive security features, and an advanced search system. And so together with Dell, we made it possible to deploy North where your data is created and used. This is all built with our state-of-the-art command model with connectors to Dell storage and enterprise data sets.
This has never been easier. I love the way that it's been designed, efficient, modular. It comes in multiple sizes, and it just works out of the box. It's simply incredible. It's future-proofed. It takes advantage of innovations in models. It's secure, and it's enterprise-grade. Let's show them.
Let's do it. OK, so here's how easy it is to securely deploy AI agents with Cohere North. You'll see how the platform connects to all of your data sources using standardized protocols, and Dell PowerScale ensures secure, seamless access and automated updates. This solution empowers functional teams to easily create role-specific agents in just a few steps.
This is incredibly impressive, Aidan. But how do we handle security?
Good question. So the data remains securely managed on-prem while maintaining full transparency. So this is one of the key advantages of our solution, ensuring enterprises retain strict control over their data. Alongside that, we've made security simpler with transparent model and hardware alignments, role-based access controls, and features like pass-through identity and custom identity provider support. And this helps ensure that both personal and public agents operate securely without compromising usability.
This is incredibly powerful. The partnership between Dell and Cohere marks a significant step forward in enterprise AI. You know, from agentic workloads to seamless integration and robust security, we're delivering a solution that advances innovation without increasing complexity.
That's right, and we're excited that Dell is the first provider to bring Cohere's North capabilities on-prem. So delivering immediate value to businesses looking for a secure and scalable agentic AI solution.
First and only.
First and only.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we talked about the importance of data in the Dell AI data platform. We talked about the importance of a vibrant and robust ecosystem, one of which I'm incredibly proud. Now I'd like to shift the conversation and talk about the need for private cloud infrastructure, the need for private cloud infrastructure and software to support the AI factories in the data center of tomorrow. Within data centers around the world, there is an undeniable move to disaggregated infrastructure as more and more customers shift to a multi-hypervisor environment. And they're doing so for three very basic reasons. Number one, they want the flexibility and preventing vendor lock-in. Number two, they want the ability to transition smoothly between cloud operating systems. And number three, they need the independent scaling of compute and storage in order to maximize their TCO. And so let's start talking about the storage portfolio that comes within the private cloud, excuse me. So let's start with the flagship of our portfolio, which is PowerStore. Named number one in ease of use and innovation, PowerStore now powers 17,000 customers worldwide and has generated double-digit revenue growth in each of our last 2 reported quarters. This level of trajectory doesn't happen without an incredible partner community, and I just wanted to say big thank you to the partners everywhere who have helped us achieve this trajectory. And we are building on last year's PowerStore Prime launch to make our systems smarter, more efficient, more secure. Customers already enjoy our integrated backup solution and the world's only 5-to-1 data rate reduction guarantee. And today we announce PowerStore Advanced Ransomware Detection, giving customers the strongest of assurances in cyber resiliency in the world. And with its broad ecosystem of support, PowerStore is uniquely positioned to be the ultimate choice for customers' modern disaggregated infrastructure. Next up, we're announcing PowerProtect Data Domain All-Flash, which marks a significant step forward in our data protection portfolio, offering customers a highly scalable all-flash solution that was engineered for exceptional performance and efficiency. PowerProtect Data Domain leads the industry in density. It offers 544 terabytes of usable storage per node, which translates into what I believe is the technical term, a whopping 36 petabytes of effective storage per node. And when you couple this with significant software enhancements, including 4 times faster restore times, 2 times faster replication, 80% reduction in power consumption, 40% less rack space, PowerProtect Data Domain is redefining the art of the possible in enterprise cyber resilience. And its native integration with PowerMax and PowerStore empowers customers to protect and safeguard vital information while optimizing resources. Next, we are introducing PowerFlex 5.0, designed to simplify large-scale deployments and enable customers to manage workflows with confidence. Our latest enhancements on PowerFlex have really focused on efficiency and resiliency, offering 10 nines of availability and up to 80% storage efficiency. 80% storage efficiency, allowing customers to significantly reduce their costs while providing supreme redundancy, or robust redundancy, excuse me. PowerFlex 5.0 also delivers advanced fault resilience, which seamlessly reconstructs data even in the face of multiple node failures, ensuring uninterrupted access. And by bringing together high reliability, efficiency, and protections, PowerFlex 5.0 enables customers to consolidate more workloads with greater ease and assurance. Now, do you think we're stopping at making the world's leading infrastructure better? Of course not. We are innovating in software-driven automation capabilities that make Dell disaggregated infrastructure even simpler and more cost-effective to use. Today, we announce the Dell Private Cloud, an open and flexible software solution that is designed to make deploying, managing, scaling private cloud environments super easy. The Dell Private Cloud is built for a disaggregated world, allowing customers to protect their hardware investment, to transition smoothly between cloud operating systems, and simplify their operations with a common management framework. And at the heart of the Dell Private Cloud is the Dell Automation Platform, which enables customers to install their preferred third-party operating system of choice on PowerEdge and PowerStore, giving them control, agility, and the tremendous scale that they're looking for in terms of being able to scale independently, compute, and storage. And each Dell Private Cloud license unlocks a wide range of validated designs for the industry's leading cloud operating systems. And the centralized management capabilities of the automation platform bring private cloud and storage under one roof, empowering customers to work efficiently with common tools while supporting for future growth. As you can see, we've been incredibly busy engineering the future. I can tell you the AI revolution is not a spectator sport. And with Dell Technologies, you're not just ready for the future, you are defining it. Let's build what's next together. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to turn it over to the president of our Client Solution Group, my good friend and the king of the AIPC, Sam Bird. Sorry.
Thank you, Arthur. Good to see you, man. Imagine being able to bring the latest medical diagnostic capabilities to a remote village with 50 people and no connectivity. Imagine being able to arm your customer service team with the answer every time, driving higher NPS, loyal customers, and a more profitable business. Imagine being able to do all this and more with tools and capabilities that cut the time to develop and deploy AI models from months to weeks. I'll tell you, big goals like this, you know, they don't just happen. And that is exactly why we've built the Dell AI Factory, to pave the way for seamless AI, to give you the power to run AI where it makes sense, like the edge, where more than 75% of the enterprise data will be created. For many, that data lives on the PC, where the content is personal and meaningful, where insights need to be tailored and outcomes must be immediate. For enterprise, that makes the PC the ultimate edge device. It's your data, your edge, your way. Now, fast forward to 2030 or a few years beyond that. There will be 2 billion AI PCs, each capable of hundreds or thousands of TOPS. Jeff's token machines made personal. Heck, we're well on our way. Check this out. At GTC, we announced this tiny powerhouse with NVIDIA. This is the Dell Pro Max GB10, a powerful workstation capable of 1 petaflop. That's 1,000 TOPS or 1 quadrillion calculations per second. Great for an AI developer to get going with their own dedicated desk-side AI resources. Or my favorite, stack a couple together and you've got a mighty edge inference machine. Thank you, thanks, I love it too. And I'll tell you, customers who innovate, they see the opportunity in this. Copilot Plus is in end users' hands today. ISVs like CrowdStrike and Adobe are building intelligence into apps for AI PCs. And many organizations are taking the challenge Jeff laid out for them, and they're planning a future where they run smaller, more performant models directly on the device. But the first step in this incredible journey is investing now in AI PCs to future-proof your business. One company that understands the urgency is USAA. So let's hear directly from them. I'd like to welcome USAA's Assistant Vice President, Rob Johnson, to the stage. Hey, Rob, thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so when we spoke leading up to Dell Technologies World, you shared that USAA has multiple Gen AI projects on the table right now.
That's right. Right now, we're either exploring, researching, or piloting or producing over 50 Gen AI projects across the enterprise today. All of these are supporting our mission to empower our members' financial security through better service and competitive products. We aim to be the #1 choice for the military community.
I like it.
And to your point earlier about the compute power at the edge, that's something my team and I are really leaning into as we plan for these Gen AI projects. We're deploying some projects on-prem within the data center. Some of them are better suited for SaaS, and then others will be run locally on the PC. Point being, the AIPC will be even bigger part of our planning process as more workloads move to the edge.
Hey, that's great, Rob, and we do believe that AI will follow the data just as you described. So let's take a step back for a moment for the team here. Can you share a little bit about why you invested in AI PCs now? You know, you could have easily just continued with your current fleet.
Yes, sure. We knew we needed to set up the team with our AIPCs given the rapid software development and advancements being made on the NPU. We deployed our first set of Dell Pro AI PC notebooks earlier this year. Yep. And since then, every PC that we have issued has been and will be an AI PC point forward.
I like it.
But to answer your original question,
Someone
honestly,
else, one person likes it.
I know, right? Someone out there, I don't know where you're at, but you're having a good time in Vegas. But honestly, everything is about future-proofing, right?
Yep.
Things can change in an instant. Tomorrow could be the difference between leading and losing, and that's why we're future-proofing today. If you're not using AI PCs, learning and experimenting with the capabilities, you'll get beat tomorrow.
Hey, that is a pretty powerful statement, Rob, and I'm sure it resonates with a lot of the customers here today. So let's get to brass tacks, talk benefits. Tell us what you're seeing from AI PCs today.
Yep. First, better battery life, and second, better performance. Being able to offload some of these workloads onto the NPUs boosts both of those. Our team is on a lot of video calls and running virtual backgrounds and other enhancements. That's all offloaded onto the NPU, significantly improving battery life and the user experience.
Yep.
Also, being in insurance and security, or insurance and the financial industry, we have a lot of security requirements. So our security partners are also leaning into this and running heuristics and looking into running the heuristics on the NPU, leading to improved security and consequently an improved user experience. For our call centers at some point, I could see in the future that we will be running call transcriptions maybe locally on the device, freeing up our servers for other workloads. I could also see us using AI PCs to help with cleaning up call audio before these go off to the data archive. We're even thinking about how agentic workloads will take advantage of the NPU today. But net, Sam, for us, it's all about data gravity, exactly to the point that you were making earlier. But if we can do it locally on the device, save money, increase security and privacy, and add intelligence to the data where the data is created, then we're looking into it.
Hey, that's great, and it sounds like all these benefits make for an excellent user experience.
That's right, it helps us create a great user experience, but it's also about the ecosystem of the devices that sit around it. particularly around the PC. At USA, we're kind of a big Dell shop, so I can say that all our Dell devices work seamlessly together. Our team can just plug in and go. I'll give you an example. So for our exec conference rooms, we use the ultra-sharp 34-inch monitor that has the speaker bar and the camera built into it. It's
very nice monitor.
It's basically a conference room in a box. It's perfect for us. The monitor stays in a ready state, and our execs just drop in their laptop, and they're good to go. It's a frictionless IT experience that keeps our users happy.
Hey, awesome to hear that, Rob. I really appreciate you joining us here today, and I'm convinced your smart investments now will help you stay ready.
That's the plan.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Yep.
So USAA is a great example of why investing in AI PCs now is critical for long-term success. But now, let's talk about another use case that shows just how transformational on-device AI can be. Take a leading healthcare provider like Northwestern Medicine. They already use the Dell AI factory with NVIDIA and some of Arthur's PowerEdge XE9680 servers to develop and train an AI-powered multimodal language model that quickly interprets X-rays and drafts intelligent reports for radiologists. In a large research study using this model, they boosted radiologists' productivity by 40% with no loss in accuracy, and even alerted doctors to life-threatening conditions for quicker decision-making. But what if radiologists could take this capability outside of the hospital? What if radiologists had this model on a mobile workstation and could toss that PC with that model in a backpack, drive several hours to a rural clinic where broadband connectivity is spotty at best, and then run the same game-changing model on the device itself? Those radiologists would see a draft X-ray report in seconds. No network round trip, no data transit, no nightly batch job. Likely all done before the patient got back to her room. This capability could enable radiologists to see more people in more locations than ever before that have never had this level of care. It's inspiring and it's transformational. And I'll tell you, it isn't far out sci-fi. This and other ideas like it will be possible later this year with our new Dell Pro Max workstation with a Qualcomm AI100 PC inference card. It's the industry's first mobile workstation with an enterprise-grade discrete NPU, capable of running inference on a 109 billion parameter model. Pretty darn good. All that coming in an energy-efficient mobile form factor. I like it. But now I can read the minds of this audience, and I know you're thinking, Sam, how do you deploy an LLM that was developed and trained in the data center to a fleet of AI PCs? Thankfully for this keynote, I have an answer for that to you with the work we're doing at Dell, Dell Pro AI Studio. Today, for greenfield AI development, there's different silicon, different platforms, different configurations, different models, different tool chains, and different runtimes that IT needs to contend with. It can take up to 6 months for an organization to solve for this complexity. AI Studio stands that process on its head. It adapts to the latest and greatest AI acceleration technology, so you can develop, securely deploy, and easily manage models across a fleet. That means you can run the exact same model on every AI PC in your lineup in as little as 6 weeks not 6 months. That's 75% faster. So with these innovations, the question is no longer whether AI belongs on the endpoint. Instead, it is what will you do with server-grade compute power folded into your laptop. That choice is the new frontier. And of course, we're not just solely focused on AI. Our team is incredibly passionate about intentional innovation, and we're constantly raising the bar. We're serious about security. I know you know it, like we do. Most threats start at the endpoint. So to defend against identity compromise and unauthorized access, we offer Control Vault 3.0, a solution unique to Dell. This stores user credentials in a dedicated chip, isolating them from the OS, making them far less vulnerable to attack. And I'm pleased to announce that just last month, Control Vault achieved a NIST FIPS 140-3 Level 3 certification, something our competitors can only dream about. We're serious about saving IT time. We hear that every day from you. To do that, we've simplified image management by doing the hard engineering work to create a single BIOS that spans multiple hardware platforms in your typical environments, while our competitors force their customers to do 5 times more work managing 5 times more images. And we've just extended that to displays and peripherals with the industry's first holistic management solution, saving IT more than 2 months in a typical display firmware update for 1,000 end users. We're serious about reliability. Our systems are built to last. In fact, our commercial PCs can endure 4 times more drops and bumps than the competition. That's right, 4x. And our new modular USB-C port, the world's first in a commercial PC, is 33 times more impact resistant and 4 times more twist resistant than the ports our competitors use. Finally, like you, we're serious about end user experience. Collaboration is king. That's why we have the industry's only commercial laptop with an 8-megapixel infrared camera, great for highlight and low light conditions. I think about it as a notebook that looks great and makes you look great too. And you'll see all that, thank you. You'll see all that on my favorite, a gorgeous tandem OLED display, the world's first in a commercial laptop, which also delivers 25% more energy efficiency for longer unplugged performance. So from this intentional innovation to our AI forward thinking, you can see why over the last 12 months, we're #1 in the client business, #1 in commercial AI PCs, #1 in workstations, #1 in displays, and the #1 AI infrastructure partner for you. We thank you for this trust and confidence and tell you we are committed to making you #1 in everything you do, delivering your edge, your way in the AI era. Now, let's welcome Jeff Clarke back out here to bring us home.
If it hasn't been clear, AI has taken off like a rocket ship. We've innovated at an unmatched pace with our Dell AI factory and more to come. We're in the early innings of enterprise AI. I hope I made it clear, if you don't start now, you will be behind. Your competitors are. And Dell Technology understands the needs of enterprises better than anyone else in our marketplace. We have the right solutions. We have a disaggregated architecture with the strongest ecosystem of partners that you got to see today. We are on the forefront of showcasing agentic technology at work, at Dell, and with our customers. We're here to help you accelerate you on your journey. Enjoy the show. Thanks for your time today.